Hey guys, welcome back to Building a SaaS with SaasRock. This is day 5. This will be a very short video, mainly because I'm at my parents' hometown for vacation, and you will hear a lot of animals. So sorry about that. You'll hear birds, cows, dogs, kids, motorcycles, and whatnot. So let's keep this short. First, I'm gonna redirect my Postmark server to my NGRock, and then I'm going to send an invalid XML, which doesn't have a valid UUID. And let's wait a little bit until this receives it. Okay, so we got one. Let's see our XML's route. We got 2 actually, because I lost a few seconds the Wi-Fi, so I send it again. So now let's send a valid XML now. This is test 2. And this will be a valid XML with an existing taxpayer. As you can see here. Oh, I've not set it. But this is good because you will see how it will reject to our new status, because I changed this status a little bit. As you can see, before it was invalid. Now it says duplicate, invalid UUID, unregistered taxpayer. So we should get unregistered taxpayer in a second. Okay, so here it is. Now let's register our taxpayer so this can be valid. And we can reprocess this on the admin side. Let's see which one is. I believe it's the previous to the taxpayer. So it's reloading. Okay, it's a little bit before this one right here. So it says now that it's processed. So let's send this one again. So there you have it, 3 possible states from the email. Invalid UUID, which is an XML without the last piece of the attribute values that I need. Processed, which means that I have already my taxpayer registered, or duplicated, because this one is the same. And if we send an email with 5 XMLs, it should get the 5 to process. Let me do that. Okay, so we got about 9 files, I think. And let's see the dashboard. Here it says that a lot of them were duplicated. As you can see, it's the same UUID, but these ones were processed. So this way we let our users send emails to manage, to use the application, not only manually by uploading on the platform itself. We give them an email and they could send all their invoices here instead of uploading manually. But it's nice to have both of the features, manually and via inbound emails. That's gonna be for this video. I'm just gonna show you what changed primarily. The first thing that changed from this table is that now I have the taxpayers column, which relate to our taxpayers, which is a no-code entity. And next, we changed the inbound to create XMLs from the email attachments. So let's take a look at this function, which is really simple. I just get an email from the parameter, and I iterate for all email attachments. I create a row for this entity, which is XML. And as you can see here, I'm passing the already existing public URL or content on base 64 from the XML and PDF files, so I don't have to create them again, because I already did that in the inbound logic right here. Here I'm creating the attachments, and if I have a Supabase environment variable set, I convert them to public URLs. So I just use these files. But if you're not using Supabase, you will duplicate your files right here. So you have to manually delete the attachment content if you want to preserve the used storage. And the transition, I manage all the logic here. So if the state is pending, I do all this. I check if it has a valid XML, I find the processing state, I set it to that state, and then it gets to this state, where I get the XML string and I read it. Now, finally, the last thing that changed primarily is the states. I removed the workflow steps because I had these actions that if it was on pending, I could process them, and if it was invalid, I could process this as well. But I only need the states to manage the workflow of this functionality. Maybe on other future entities like receipts, photo receipts, I can use manually actions to let the user change the I don't know, this receipt is approved by the manager or not. So this is it for this video. I'm sorry for the low quality, you have to understand, but on the next video I will be talking about uploading receipt photos and converting them to XMLs, and maybe that will be the last video on which you will be able to get the code if you're a SaasRock Enterprise customer, because after that I will be working on specific things for Mexican taxpayers.